Welcome to my final video. Yes, you heard that right. This is the last video I'll be filming in this workshop. Before diving into why this is my last video here, let me tell you about the project I'm working on. As you might have seen in the thumbnail and preview, I'm building a desk. This isn't just any desk. It's designed to combine aesthetics and functionality, making it a perfect fit for our living room. While you are only seeing a fraction of the 503 gigabytes of video footage I captured, let me share the full story. Back in January, I was super excited to start this project. At that time, I had no idea that my plans would be completely upended. Shortly after starting, the owner of the house, who had kindly let me use his garage as a workshop, told me he was selling the house. Let me explain. For those who've been following me for a while, you might know that I didn't always have a workshop. My father-in-law allowed me to set up a small space in his garage. To my surprise, he agreed, and I built the entire workshop from scratch. There's a playlist documenting the process. It's not my best editing work. I was just learning the ropes and using LumaFusion instead of DaVinci Resolve. Yes, LumaFusion. Not DaVinci Resolve. It took about a year to finish the workshop. I built drawers, a Rubu workbench, and started with basic tools like a table saw, thickness planer, and a miter saw. As time went on, I upgraded to a bandsaw, joint a thicknesser, and a custom router table I built. By then, the workshop was fully equipped, and I was ready to start building high quality furniture. But just as everything came together, my father-in-law announced he was selling the house. That was in February, and it felt like my world collapsed. I lost all motivation to work in the workshop. It took me weeks, even months, to come to terms with the news. I started a small side project to distract myself, but I knew I needed a new space. Finding something affordable in my area was nearly impossible, and for a while I lost all hope. That's when I built the mini workbench, a backup plan for working from home. It was a tough time, and I even considered selling everything and taking a break from woodworking. I kept questioning what I enjoyed more, building furniture or creating YouTube content. Despite not posting regularly, my subscriber count continued to grow, which meant something to me. I realized I couldn't give up. My goal is to reach 1 million subscribers, no matter how long it takes. By the way, I'm still working on the desk. While there is no need for a step-by-step explanation yet, I'll share some important updates and plans for the channel. Stick around, this channel is going places. Yeah, and I might need your help. Along that long way, some subscribers would help. Consider that. Now, let's place that here and check our cut. There's a massive gap. That's actually not good at all. Let's check which one is actually the problem here. So, luckily, I didn't cut the ends off. I can easily, using my fence on the planer, make that cut perfect. And let's just do that real quick. Much better, right? I have some breakouts here, but no, don't worry. I need to shorten up this whole edges anyway. So that's why the width of the board is gonna be cut at last. So I have these tear outs removed. Before I forget, what do you think about that GoPro footage? I think sometimes it's really hard to see what on earth people are even doing. So I tried filming it from a first-person perspective. It's an experiment. Let me know what you think about that. So, what's next? Well, I found a new place for rent. It's reasonably priced, but still not cheap. Keep in mind, I have a full time job, and I'm a husband, a family father of one toddler, and building stuff while filming it, and spending so much time editing is much more demanding than you think. Well, actually, it's so much work. Yeah, working nights, man. That's what I do. What's my plan? I want to level up my YouTube game a lot. I want to post at least every week one video, short or long. I want to document everything regarding building and planning the new workshop, but also keep building stuff in the meanwhile. To make this happen, I might need help filming and editing. Otherwise, I'll burning the midnight oil, you'll see it in the dark circles under my eyes. Back to the desk. Usually I design projects beforehand, and this was no exception. But I ended up freestyling, which led to a design far better than the original plans. The initial design was bad, but I'm much happier with how it turned out. This is one attempt to redesign on the fly. Well, who needs the gym anyway if you can lift heavy lumber? You see how long this board has been sitting in the shop? That's a lot of dust. Here is the first prototype of the keyboard drawer. Let's call it a desk extension, so you don't get confused with the 90s style keyboard drawer. I actually used to have one of these. They were functional, but not aesthetically pleasing. In 2024, I wanted the board not only to be pulled out like a drawer, but also to be able to raise. at the same level as the desk and even matched the natural curve of the desktop. One of the main reasons I left the natural edge of the tabletop was to let the second board rest on that angle and lock itself. You have no idea how relieved I was when the first prototype worked, but there are some drawbacks. First, the wooden parts were fidgety and the mechanism was a little bit flimsy, so I 3D printed all the parts. And second, the drawer slides were too long, but you'll see how I'll deal with them later. Remember when I told you I wanted a desk that is functional and aesthetically pleasing? Well, let me repeat that. I want a table that is functional and aesthetically pleasing. That meant removing as many cables as possible, and that's why I included a wireless charger inside the top. I ended up routing so deep that the top of the position is paper thin. Honestly, paper thin. Look. Listen. Initially I had magnets, but the magnets were too strong. The charging speed suffered a lot of that because the magnets interfere with the coil and the whole PCB ended up just heating up as much as hell. Now, this video is almost 10 minutes and there is a ton of stuff I didn't even include in this video. Seriously, I filmed over 500 gigabytes. I mean, what the heck? For the drawer handles, I thought using a different wood as an accent would be nice, and I had some mahogany left. I sandwiched that between two pieces of white oak, let the glue set for a while, and used that time to continue sanding the desk, as I haven't sanded everything like twice. Well, after the glue set for an hour, I removed the C-clamps and started improvising. I had a rough idea how the handles should look like, but somehow couldn't wrap my head around that design. I shaped them using the radius on my belt sander and I shortened them with the block plane until I was satisfied with the look. They felt pretty good and matched the overall design of the desk. Do you agree? There are so many details I kept out of this video, it's actually pretty sad that only a few would like to see that. But let me know if you are interested. Remember, I still have 500 gigabytes of footage. One design element that has been added later on was these felt tiles. The idea was to imitate acoustic panels, and I had some oak stripes from a previous project and used them to finish the board where my PC is going to hang on. Another detail I don't want to uncover in this video. Truth is, I wasn't even sure what I was doing and ended up just randomly, with some educated guessing, hanging all the components around it. The riser cable got destroyed during the build. I needed some power outlets, so I added some, and added some ventilation cuts for the cooling block. Now if you're wondering what finish I am using, that was just a regular hard wax oil, non-toxic without any additional chemicals, and I applied 3 layers. At home, I removed my old desk that was actually not that old and painted the wall green. Somehow the color is totally different on the screen. But in reality it looks really beautiful. I mean, my wife likes it and it doesn't look like that petroleum you see. I mean, what the hell? Moving the whole desk from the workshop home wasn't that easy, but with the right help, we moved it just the night before I mounted everything. Now, while drilling the holes, I was expecting some kind of resistance. I mean, it's a cement wall or concrete at least. But then the drill bit went in like a hot knife in butter. That got me really worried, and I hoped the wall was going to support that table because, as you can see, I have no legs planned. I had to make some quick typing tests to prove that everything is working just fine. Now, I've been using the desk for 1 week or so, and I can tell you, I'm really happy. And one more thing, sometimes I don't even take that thing up. I just, I mean, it's fine like that, but sometimes I like to chill a little bit lower, so I just keep it down here. I mean, why not? Now enjoy some footage of the desk and leave me alone.